Hey everyone, this is Blaze the Firewolf. This is Roundup part 117. I'm gonna probably have to title this More Bucket Lists, because, more bucket lists, gold and silver. Because after some time and a little bit of talking and a little bit of showing to some of my church friends, I'll get to that in a bit. So this is going to be a different one. Instead of me, saving the best for last, I'm just going to show you guys the best for last in each hunt, because I mal-detected Prospect Park 5 times. This is all from, like, the footpath kind of leading in, going to, like, a bend. This park, I kind of went, like where I said before, the footpath, right between those orange trees. I went straight down and then made a bend and turned around and found some cool stuff. Then I went back again and I wanted to see where I go from there and see how far it could go. Then I went to do the in between the orange trees, like surpassing that concrete slab part and going, in and out of these orange trees. There's some good moss in some of these certain areas and wet spots, which makes me think there could be original dirt that hasn't been disturbed. Unfortunately, I dug up probably 50 plus pieces of foil and aluminium and twisty tops and junk and stuff. Though I believe I think it was this day, I found an old beer can from about 1975. So there is old junk in this area, but I digress. First day, I'll just go through the clad. I'll use my loupe with the light on it. Hope it's good. Hope it's not too bad for the camera. 85 cents. And I'll tell you, the stacked up pennies, 5 in a row, except for the last 2, which were 3. These are all memorial pennies that I found right by a bent, right near at the back, just close to the road, but in kind of a wooded patch. In amongst the tree, 28 memorial pennies and 6 wheat pennies. And I'll get through the junk, though, first. Got copper wire and piping and tubing and junk. 2 pieces of brass and copper. 2 pieces of brass. Key that says FD looks like 34 and then a 71. Might be a fire department key. I'll show you guys a little bit. Because this right here has it has kind of that right there. It says do not duplicate with like a press or something right there. Not really sure exactly what that's meant to be or for, but not sure. Could be FD, could be fire department. I can't tell exactly. Junky heart, and it's a junk jewelry, probably off of a necklace or earring. It's a junker. But crazy, 34 pennies. All these stacked pennies are dated from 1959 to 1965. There's nothing newer than that. There's nothing older than that, unless you count the 6 wheat pennies. A 1957 D, which actually that penny was sandwiched in, like perfectly sandwiched in like this, and they were stuck together. And I talked with Mom about that, and she said that it could be it could be like an old it used to be in a bag or something, and all these pennies got scattered out behind an old tree. This dirt probably has been disturbed, but if anything, the dirt's probably like 50 years old, maybe, or more. I mean, yeah, 57D. I got 2 1958Ds. I don't know. I'm going to keep turning and going to the lamp. 58D. And this one here, I got this one here, which is a 56D. I got 1940, no, that's a 51D. You could tell by these colors, the green, that's what all of these 34 pennies turned out. So I actually used a brass brush to try to bring out the contrast, and it does kind of, yeah, it does kind of ruin these coins, but it does make it so you can get more detail. I don't mind doing it on these coins because, you know, they're wheat pennies. They're not really rare. 58D still has some of that crud on it. And there's my oldest one of the spill of the pennies, 1945, plain. Believe it or not, that's my second 45 that I found. The last time I found a 45, I think, was around 2018, I think. It was using my Prospector X Bounty Hunter, and that was like 2018. Yeah. And then I got a 1962D Silver Roosevelt. But yeah, wait, let me show that. 62D Silver Roosevelt. Making it a bucket list because it's my first ever Silver Roosevelt found with the Garrett Ace 400. It wasn't in the spill with the 34 pennies, but it was in that same vicinity area. It didn't take too long to clean it. But yeah, first ever Rosie with the 400. Got an old rivet. And it's pretty corrosive. I could just set this tray on my lap. Hold on a second. There we go. It's a little bit better lighting. But yeah, rivet. Got an old rivet. Got a brass buckle in the footpath. It's probably off of maybe a shoe or maybe a belt. It is corroded, but it is brass. Looks almost identical to the buckle that I found months ago, back around, I think it was February. The end of February, early March. No, the end of February, because this year had the 29th. So, yeah. And what do you know? My oldest dog tag I've ever found on that day. Expires June 30th, 88. It was in the footpath leading to the bend. The aluminium it was picking up really good. It was attached to an old disintegrated belt. Well, not belt, but collar to a dog. And that's kind of what it was. And I got this really cool, ornately designed, what I believe to be brass, or possibly an end of a spoon, twisted up by a lawnmower or something, but it's not really, you know, it's not special apart from it being probably fairly old. It was about 3.5 inches down, right by an orchard. Yep. Actually, no, that was in a tree, an orange tree. So that's cool. Now this, I want you guys to take any ideas on what it is, because I have a good guess on what it is. It's the back of a heel plate, or the side to a boot. It says Elgin JH in cursive. At the top it says 15 joules, USA, right there. And if you turn it around and go here, it's got an arrow pointing down. There's like 3 numbers, 555, and there's like a 33, 38. Does anyone know what this is exactly? It's not part to a old pocket watch, that's for sure. It's not to a clock, that's for sure. It rang up a solid 40, and it was only 2 inches down in the footpath. Yep. I mean, it was so hard to dig. I actually pulled some muscles on my hands trying to get some of that crud out of the, Yeah, I hope that's light. I hope that's bright enough. I turn my lamp. So that's the first day. Relatively really good. Next day I got your brass scrap. I'll tell you, that rang up like a $50. And 90s. It was kind of 94, 95, early 93. These were kind of close to a concrete bench. And finishing up that footpath. This is probably like the top or the corner piece to a harmonica reed. Yeah, a zinc possibly, or old key made in USA. It's quite corrosive, but it's a key. And look at this, 3 bird rings. Now this might be a sparrow ring. It's one of the tiniest things you will ever see in your life. Oh man, I don't know if the camera will even pick up the numbers and stuff. That thing's super tiny. But that's kind of what the Garrett is. You pick it up and then you find something like this, and it picks up one of the smallest things you can imagine. And it is a bird ring. It's got J1. I can't really date this because of that. It's scraped up quite a bit. Could have been from me or age. It was only like 4 inches down probably. But yep, 7. I think on the edge it says LM R J1. Yeah, this has only like an address. So yeah, that could be for a sparrow maybe. This is definitely a true like bird ring. It's got a number, a coal, probably an address or something right there. Probably need to do a little more homework on that and see if that is kind of an address thing. And a bird ring from 2002. This is one of those where they put the date on the edge like this. And despite its gold appearance, it's not gold or brass. It's aluminum. But yeah, 2002, Y10, NBRC. Yeah, there's no doubt I will probably help with some research on those. Clad, $1.62. And the 1965 was kind of just at the bottom of a small slope, close to the concrete bench. And it almost made of silver, but it's not. This is a cool thing. At first I wasn't sure if it was part to a necklace, well, an earring, or a bracelet, but actually it's part to a necklace. The only thing that's magnetic is the clasp thing. Everything else is silver. The chain is marked 925 RL. This is marked 925 RL China. It's got marble or pearl on the back. I love you to the moon and back. Part of a broken necklace, but it is for sure silver. It's not plated or anything like that, which is a good thing. Another wheat penny, not too far from that spill, that 34 pennies and those 6 wheats. But yeah, 1954 S. I think I don't have an S, so that's probably my first ever S. Your brass, yeah, I already showed the brass scrap metal. This is a rifle bullet that has the number 3000 on it. Super. It was in an orchard at the top, close. I didn't really go up there for long because it was like, I probably dug like a bottle top every hole almost. It was ridiculous. It was kind of a bad place because there was a footpath on top of a hill leading up to, you know, the orchard where I found the Indian heads and other stuff, and it was just loaded with junk, trash. I'm finding trash, but at least there's old trash. And look at this, another rabies vaccination tag from the year I was born, 1998. Rabies Vax Veterinary Treatment Facility. It's got the phone. It's got a number 3153. It's probably a phone number. It's aluminium. It rang up kind of like a quarter, but I guess because it's of its shape and size, it rang up like that. So, and my oldest dog tag that I've ever found so far. It was in one of the orchard. Not sure exactly, but it is. It says EXP June 30th, 81. Dog license. Now this could be from 1981. That's actually pretty cool because it's old. It's older than me, that's for sure. And now, does anyone have any ideas what this is? I showed this to Sister Greer at church. She said this could be, this probably is off of maybe a pulley system, like something to crank and move around. But it could have been attached to some old piece of wood right here. Could explain the brittleness of the center. I don't know. If anyone has really good ideas exactly what this is, please tell me. I'm guessing 3 good guesses. A pulley system, like what Greer told me, or a old piece for like holding your flowers and stuff for like a vase or something. Or it could even be off of an old oil lamp. It just could be. It was close to where I've been finding all. It was in kind of that line, that sidewalk. Well, not really a sidewalk strip because it's not really side. Well, yeah, it is a sidewalk strip, so, yeah. Alright, the next day. Loads of brass and copper. And I got the quad factor. Clad quarter, clad dime, clad nickel, and clad memorial. The bad thing about this, it was 8 inches down. So it told me that orchard was definitely kind of moved a bit, or certain spot there was some movement. I don't know. But yeah, this was in the orchard, so the third day. This day was $1.62 in clad. Got 5 nickels and got loads of memorials. Only 1 zinc-in. Yeah, I only kept like 1 zinc in here, 1 zinc in here, 1 zinc in, and only 2 there. So very little zinc pennies that I kept, which is a good thing. I like when I don't keep that many zinc-ins, so yeah. But yeah, another piece of harmonica reed in the orchard. This is now I'm going in the orchard where these orange trees are. Going to a row I have never detected before. Part of a horseshoe, possibly. I think so, definitely. It's got the right shape and size. Found the other part to the a couple rows down from where I found that. I found the other part. And yes, these two go together. Definitely, they go together. They're of the same spoon. Just all mangy and mangled up by whatever. A lead bale seal. It's got a carved out L on it, or maybe it's a mirrored F, but I'm going to go with an L. Unfortunately, while trying to dig it out, I did scrape it there, but it is a bale seal, or a lead back seal, I like to call it that. The top of a lipstick case with an M with an upside down triangle. Not sure how to date it, but it'd be interesting to do a little bit of research on it. My grandpa says it's actually a brand, and that's actually a brand of makeup. So this could be Yeah. Could be from the 50s. It rang up like a quarter, actually. It rang up kind of a 40, I think about, no, not a 40, a 87, 88, 89 on the Garrett 400. So, yeah. And a bucket list. First ever Oklahoma sales tax token. I saw Missouri Mike dig one on his video, and one is exactly like mine. It's made out of tin, which could explain the crust, but it's also aluminium. It's got Consumers Tax 1, and right here it's supposed to say Token Oklahoma. On the back here it says for old age assistance. So this is for like helping an elderly person. It rang up solid 83 and it was only 2 inches, which is a good sign. It was close to an orange tree too. You know, that's why you do these orchards. You never know. And I'll definitely get to the best for last, which is actually the case here. But yeah, it's made out of aluminium, maybe some tin. I dug up a 1 mil Missouri sales tax token in close to this, but I didn't save it because it was too gone. So, yeah. Next, so on this hunt, I only got 41 cents. This one I got about $1.32. No nickels, just a lot of just a few clad. What's cool about these two rivets? They were attached to some big leather. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, while trying to clean it, the leather came out. This is pretty crusty. Now, I talked to Mom about this, and she said these could be for old horse tack material. And that might have been, you know. Sorry to be off topic, but this was only 2 inches and rang up 66, 67. But it was only 2 rows down from where I found the handle part. So, yeah. But yeah, these rivets, this was only like on the surface. This was on the surface. Got kind of maybe a 44 caliber. Maybe someone could help clarify what bullet this is. WRA company 44 WOF, I think. It's pretty corrosive, but yeah. Got an old button. It's got some cool dimples on it. It's got straight lines going down. The shank's busted, but it is an old button for sure. A junk ring up a 70. But I will say that's my first ever like actual jewelry in the orchard. It's nothing. It's the stone's fake and it's plated copper. As you could tell, there's some copper shining right there. But yeah, still it's a ring. First time finding a different type of shotgun head stamp. This still has the paper on it. It rang up kind of like a nickel. Oh, no, the paper fell out. Look at that. Now that is old. O-L-D, old. I'm going to try to be a little delicate with it, though, because I remembered finding a shotgun head stamp like this, and it's crumbled into pieces, so got to be a little careful with it. Now, this is a one I've never found before. It's something to do research on. PC Company 12G, which I believe gauge, prize. Be interesting to look up how old this is. It's definitely old, for sure. Just chunk of brass. I already mentioned the brass up here and the little copper washers and line. This was scrunched up and it rang up like 78, 79, kind of like a zinc penny. But you know me, you got to dig it all because you just never know what you're going to find. And I dug that probably 30, 40 times, even though I dug probably a whole lot of trash. Don't discriminate everything. These two actually were attached to each other, but after trying to straightening it out, they fell apart. This could be off of maybe some old horse tack maybe. I think that probably went right there at one point. It's a sunflower piece. It was originally, there's these two things in the back. It could have attached to something. I could try to clean it more, but I'm afraid, it's going to make it flake or worse. But, I mean, it's already pretty much toasted, but I will maybe clean it the best I could. It was only 2 inches. Crazy. This was also 2 inches. This is the top to an old compact. It's also quite brittle. I need to be careful with it. But, as you could tell, it's got very cool wavy hair of a lady. It's a lady facing right. No writing on it that I could see, unfortunately, but that was only 2 inches. I'm getting some old stuff that are shallow, which is a good thing. And this is a bottle top, but it's not just your ordinary, like, twisty aluminium bottle top or one of those pop bottle tops from the beer. Oh no. This is copper. It is a copper bottle top. I don't know if the camera's going to focus, but there's a word on the side. There. I could try to point it this way. It says D-U-K or D-I-K. I could try to bring it a little bit closer to the... Yeah, there, you might see it better. D-U-K or D-I-K-E-T-Y-N. And that's all it says. It's for an old glass bottle, pop bottle. There's no threads in it. It's an old bottle top from probably the early 1900s. Could be earlier. It's a good sign. It rang up like a clad dime. It was really bouncy. 83, 84, 85. Same with this. And believe it or not, this was 2 inches. I did a video on that. If you want to go back and see that video. It's a 1920 S-Mint mercury dime. Unfortunately, I did scrape it a couple times trying to figure out what it is. But it was 2 inches down, which is a good sign. And that is, so far, my oldest mercury dime I've ever found, unless I find a 1916S, or the rare 1916D, which, dig it all, this probably was not even dropped long after its circulation. It is... The ones that I've seen Plugmaster 4 dig are all wore out. Not this one. Man, it is pretty. It is in really nice shape. So that is a bucket list, finding my oldest Merc. Then to save the best, hunt for last. I plan to come back this coming Tuesday, so please do expect a whole lot more. Now the last day. Just to blow through that clad, I already kind of counted $1.32. On this day, I got $1.03 in clad. Got a little bit more copper. Got some copper. Got a pole of brass. Wasn't attached to anything. If anything, they probably thought they would have thrown it away. Another rifle bullet. This one I think is quite interesting because it says DEN 43. Now, it could be a World War II bullet. It just could be. It's probably World War II era. I mean, it was 4 inches down in the orchard, so that's a good sign of the age. Flattened 22 bullet. Common. This was by an orchard. Well, orange tree. Like almost at the base of the orange tree. And... it rang up 72, I think. It's the gear to a pocket watch. Very brittle. The teeth are still quite sharp, but it's very brittle. It's going to snap into a few more pieces if I try to mess with it, but another good sign. Old stuff. This, I believe, could have a date on it. if that's the date, 1929, I think. Good piece of brass. It's one of those wire connector things, but this time it has the bolt thing action to it. So there you go. And yep, a lead bale seal with the wire still in it. There's slight magnetism to the wire, but overall it's actually, you know, it's still there. 1443 on this side. It's very soft lead. It's got a something L or F right there, and there's an E. Lead bale seal. That's a good sign. Another top to a compact. Now, just like the gear to the pocket watch, it was near the base of the orange tree. Now look at that. That is some cool find, huh? Looks like a building. Looks like could be China or an Asian country. Someone told me that they thought they saw like a coal miner or somebody in between there. It's a really ornate and really awesome find, and that is a bucket list. So, yeah. Awesome, cool find. Another shotgun head stamp. This one I actually already dated before. UMC Company number 12 Majestic, but this time it has a flower in the center. This type of shell is dated back to between 1904 and 1908. So, good sign. That's a good sign. Old stuff. 1953S. I think it's a 3S. It's quite crusty, but it was in the orchard. That's my 8th wheat penny in Prospect Park, or 9th. Actually, probably 9th, because I found the 47S. Then, 6 inches down, I found this. Now, I already did a video about it, talking about it. I've shown this to Mom, and she was convinced that this probably is the real deal. I might need to talk to Sister Ann about this. On the inside, you could read right there. It says, in cursive, it says, Francis to Lizzie, and upside down, on this side here, I don't know if the camera's going to focus on it, there's an A with a star on it. And Mom told me that this gray part here could have been for when it snapped or broke at one time, and then someone actually put it together, tried to fix the ring maybe. But, yeah, sorry. But yeah, the stones are missing. But wow, it rang up 45, 39, 40, 42, 44, 55, 66, 67. It was very bouncy and scratchy for 6 inches. But knowing me and knowing the park, I dig everything. Everything. And look at that. Even though the stones are missing, I think there's some really good significance and history to this ring. So there's going to be a lot of good research on this, and we'll figure out what it is. I'm guessing it could be 14K yellow gold because of the color. It's got some of the yellowish look to it. It's got really nice color. And it came out clean too. It didn't come out all mucky and ugly like plated is. So there you go. And there's my video. And hope you guys like this video. It's fairly long, but for good reason. I mean, I got probably at least 10 bucket lists on this video, probably more. Yeah, it's crazy. And feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and share all together. I am Blaze the Firewolf, and I will be sure to see you guys probably in my next video. Maybe an art video. But yeah, goodbye.